Have you left all your gift knitting to last minute? Do you only have a week left to make all your gifts? Well, don't worry, I have a load of ideas, so just keep watching. Hi, welcome to the Purlsbeforethyme knitting podcast. I'm Elise, and today we're not going to mess around. We're just going to get straight into it, and it's going to be, all knitting pattern ideas for gift giving and that take maybe 3 days or less to knit. So all of these are things I've made with definitely under a week, most of them about 3 days. So a good weekend knit. Some of them are very quick, some of them take up to that sort of 3-day limit, but they're all going to be lovely gifts to receive. So we're going to just divide this into categories a little bit. So category 1 is going to be, like, all of these are accessories, okay? There's no way you're going to make a jumper for anyone in this time. So number 1 is for all the people with hair in your life, and this is a free pattern, so excellent. Just go download it and make it. It is a scrunchie, so it's super easy, super beginner friendly. This one here is the Simple Scrunchie by Wiese. She is Danish, and I use this a lot. I also used a really good quality thick elastic inside so that it's not going to go slack, because I have a lot of hair and the worst thing is when scrunchies go slack. So yes, this is nice. It's just a little stockinette stitch panel, and it's made in scrap silk mohair, so you also get to use your scraps. So this is a very quick one evening knit, nice and easy. That's the only thing I have for hair, but we can stay on the head and move on to hats. So I have 2 hats that I really love. I was going to maybe add the Oslo hat by Petite Knit onto this list, but it often takes longer than you think because you have to make quite a long section and it's on quite small needles. So I think these hats are a bit quicker to knit. They do have cables, but they are on larger gauge needles and with thicker wool, so they don't take so long, and they have a less folded brim. So the first one is the August hat by Sari Nordlund. I tested this for her, and it's made in DK or maybe even Aran weight. It's really lovely. It's got these beautiful horseshoe cables with like little tiny cables in between, and just a ribbed brim. And it's really warm and cozy, and I think this will be a really loved gift. And then I have a similar hat by Sari Nordlund, which is the Kanelbulle hat, which is also got horseshoe cables, but without any cables in between, and a nice ribbed brim. And this I think I made in 2 days. So these are both really good options for quick gift knits if you live somewhere cold. Right, so then the biggest category I have is the small scarf category, or neck warmer category, because I own several and I think they're just wonderful. My favorite of these is the scarf number 2? Is it 1 or 2? I've forgotten, but it's by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It is only got a stitch, stockinette stitch, and some eyelets, and it is such a lovely pattern. I made this in, I think, 2 or 3 evenings. Mine is in cashmere, so it's super soft, so it's a really nice excuse to use some slightly more luxurious yarn. This is 3 years old, and it still looks really, really nice, and it's been used a lot. And I know a lot of people who've made this and are all very happy with it, so I highly recommend. You actually get 2 versions of the pattern when you purchase it. There's a bandana version, and then there's a version that's a little bit like longer at the ends. I think this is the slightly shorter version. Anyway, this is lovely. You can use it as like a sort of, in your hair or just around your neck, and you can style it in different ways, and it looks really elegant and beautiful with everything, so highly recommend. Next I have another couple of small scarves. This one was a gift to me that was made to me by a knitter. Her name is Natasha. We did a knit exchange last year and she lives in Australia, and she made the Colette scarf by Sari Nordlund for me. And I don't know how long it took her, but I don't think it took her so long. It's a short scarf. I've used this quite a lot. It's got these lovely cables with some eyelets, and it's made in this really nice sort of it's not very thin, so it's got like quite, you know, thick gauge. I don't know exactly the needle size because I didn't make it, but this is a really lovely gift to give people. And I like a short scarf because you don't have to like deal with all these faffy ends, and it just keeps you warm. And they also can look much more sort of elegant and stylish than a long scarf sometimes. And then I'm going to be a bit cheeky, but also not, because I use this all the time. This is my own design. It's also a small scarf. It is the Gaelle Scarf. You can find it on my Ravelry page, and it is made from end to end construction, and it just has this lovely cable pattern on it with I-cord edges. I love a rolled I-cord edge. I think it's so nice. This is the perfect length to go around your neck once or twice, and yeah, this is a favorite of mine. That's why I designed it. I only design things that I would like to wear myself, so that's this one. Then this is, if you like doing colour work and you have experience with colour work, this won't take you too long. But if you are new to colour work, I don't think this is going to be something you do quickly. But I'm going to digress slightly. Earlier this year, my grandmother passed away. So I received this, I made for her a few years ago. So I've got this back, and she used this a lot, and I know she really liked it. This is a really beautiful pattern. It's a neck warmer, so it's just a big tube basically. And this is in fingering weight, so it's you know, a little bit fine gauge, but it's so elegant, and the color work is just such a gorgeous pattern. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's by a designer called Trin-Annelie, and it's from an issue of Muirini, I think, but I'll put all the details in the comments underneath. This is actually, the colors I tried to actually match the original pattern. So you have a sort of base color, and then you have the contrast color of the sort of beautiful like gray green, and then you have a sort of pink just as that replaces the white, or it's not a white, it's more like a putty in the middle here, and it just adds a little bit of contrast and a little bit more nuance and elegance to it. So yeah, this is so nice. It's got this really nice double ribbing on the outside. Yeah, I would just take care to make sure that the ends are stretchy enough so you can wear it comfortably. And yeah, if you really like colour work and are good at like remembering patterns quickly, this won't take you too long. So I think this actually took me a weekend to make, and I know it was a very loved gift. So yeah, highly recommend this beautiful, beautiful pattern. Right, so last but not least, hands. So the only hand knit mittens I own are mittens I've designed myself, and they're both published, so go and grab them if you're interested. This first pair is a very beginner friendly, very easy chunky pair. They're made in bulky weight yarn, and yeah, these are just scraps I had from a jumper I made. The jumper is terrible. I made it without a pattern before I knew anything about knitting, really. So I think I'm going to unravel it, but it's made in really nice yarn. This is Wool and the Gang Alpacino Merino, and it comes in these wonderful colours. This brown for me reminds me of like a really good croissant, and then like the blue is just delicious. So what the construction of these is, you just make a mitre square, which is this section of the main body of the mitten, and then you sew one side shut and then partially, another side shut, and then you add a little thumb by picking up stitches, and then you add some rib on the bottom of both. So if you feel like you can intuit that without buying the pattern, go for it. It's, you know, pretty straightforward and really comfy. The only measurement you really need is the width of the hand, and then that's kind of like what you want to be half the width of the square. So yeah, it's really fun. You can really have fun playing around with colour and pattern with these. I use these a lot when it's very cold and when we go skiing, so that's a really, really good pair of mittens. For a little bit more of a lightweight pair of mittens, these are they're more sort of what I wear at the office when it's cold, because my office, I'm the only woman who sits in my office and the temperature is definitely a bit chilly for me, but it's fine for all the people who aren't me in the office. But anyway, these are my little Muirini mitts. Muirini means scallop in Irish. Yeah, so it has this little scalloped edge, so it's like a little extra detail. You can just do a straight rib edge as well. I just like the little scalloping, and I thought they were quite charming. This is made in leftover cashmere that I had from another little scarf project that I gave away, so you really don't need very much. This will take you an evening. It's very little, and then the ribbing takes a little bit of time, and if you want to add contrast detailing with the crochet, you can. So both these patterns, oh, this one I've forgotten, they're called Cockatiel mitts, sorry. So all of these patterns I will link below. So that's really all I had to say today. So it was just short and sweet, little update. I'll be back with a lot of more of a sort of vloggy style, what I've been up to recently video next week. And I think that's all I had to say. So yeah, goodbye.